Now, thousands of people in Jackson, Mississippi are waking up to a fourth day without reliable water service, and this is forcing many businesses to shut their doors. Joining us now is restaurant manager at Bravo, Tanya Burns, which is an Italian restaurant that is struggling to support employees because of this crisis. Tanya, thank you so much for taking time out this morning just to show us what you're dealing with, what so many business owners there in Jackson are dealing with. Tell us what this has meant for your business.
We've been under a boil water notice for 36 days now. We've been at an inconsistent water supply since Monday. So not being able to open the doors, not being able to employ staff, not being able to support the community is a really hard place after the past year that restaurants have had pretty much since COVID. So it's another struggle in a long line of supply chain struggles and things of that nature, increased cost of goods. It's one more thing, and it's one more thing that's avoidable.
I know you're near the tap there by the sink. Can you just give us a sense of how much water you've got coming in? Because I know the water pressure is really the issue there.
And it's very spotty. So we are uncertain each time when we go to the tap what we're going to end up with. So for example, yesterday I brought a full staff in.
And that's full, Tanya?
We did all of our...
That's fully open?
Pardon?
That's fully turned on.
I cannot push that any further against the wall. That's fully turned on this morning. And the issue is there is an inconsistency in it. We did our best to open yesterday, brought in full staff, did all the prep work, received the fresh seafood. And at 10:45, when it bottomed out, I had to look at my staff and say, I'm so sorry, guys, we're not working again.
That's terrible. I mean, because you have to you were under boil water before, a boil water advisory, but you could wash dishes. Now you can't wash dishes.
Exactly. We have brought in ice and water over the last 36 days so that we can be here, so that we can make a living, so that we can serve our community. And then for the pressure issues and the pumps to fail, now there's no opening of doors. There's no business opening that we can do.
And there's no bathrooms, right? Toilets aren't flushing. So now you have people using porta-johns, which is not ideal. So you have your employees who you're hoping to give employment to, and then you find out before 11 a.m. that you can't. What has this meant, Tanya, for your employees and for them being able to get to provide for their families?
Well, they get up in the morning. Many of them live in Jackson. They do the same thing that every other Jacksonian does, is go to the faucet and hope they can shower before work. They do their best to get their kids off to school, except for the schools are shut down currently because there's no water. So you find childcare to arrive at a job that you hope you can work for the day to make ends meet for your family. So each day when you get up in the morning, to not know if you're going to work that day is a struggle. It's mentally taxing for a basic necessity that we all assume should be there.
What happens for you? What happens to the restaurant if this isn't fixed here in the next few days?
We come in each morning, we turn on the taps, and we hope with faucets that we're going to have the pressure to pull chemicals through a dish machine and provide for our community and allow the people that have supported us and choose to work with us to come to work and do the things that we need to do so that they can have quality of life also.
Who are you holding to account for this? I mean, this is incredibly frustrating and threatening to the livelihood of you and your restaurant and your employees. I mean, who do you think is to blame?
So that is part of the issue. Is it's a decades-old problem. We are a bicentennial state with a decades-old problem of a water system in Jackson, and each time that we say, who is it to blame, is not the answer. The answer is, how do we come together? How do we figure out how to work together to get this problem fixed, even if it's little by little, so that we can move forward? We need to stop looking backwards at who's to blame and figure out how to work together moving forward and get this situation solved.
You think it's finally going to get fixed? That you're finally to that point where this is going to be solved?
So in talking about it with my friends, there's a term that we grasp, and it's desensitization. So when boil water notice happens for us, it's a minimum of 3 days. We know that we are ordering ice and canned drinks and bottled water. We're doing all the things it takes to import those things for a minimum of 3 days each time it happens. Now, again, we've been doing this for 36 days this time. This happened again roughly a month ago, and we did it maybe 5 weeks ago, and we did it for about 12 to 18 days at that point. We don't blink when they tell us it's time to boil water. We don't flinch. We're so desensitized to the fact that it's such a common occurrence to boil water. You didn't hear anything about it, and you won't. It's not until the pumps have failed and the pressure is gone that there's really an issue that comes to light for everyone.
Yeah, it's opened up the eyes of the country to the plight of your city. Tanya Lynn, thanks for inviting us into Bravo to your restaurant this morning. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me and for shedding some light on this. We appreciate it.